Welcome back to Mommy Talk Show. I want to talk about some of the celebrities that you may or may not know who've been very open about their diagnosis of ADD and ADHD. And some of them were pretty amazing. Some of them I was surprised by, some of them I was not. For instance, two funny people that you may or may not know, Jim Carrey and Will Smith. They're both actors. They've made, award-winning movies. Will Smith's been nominated for an Oscar. Also, some athletes who have been open about their diagnosis of ADD or ADHD. Michael Phelps, who has 14 gold medals in the Olympics, as well as Olympic runner Bruce Jenner, who more of you know for being a stepdad from the Kardashians instead of how I know him from being on the Wheaties boxes. But as athletes, it seems like they were able to use physical activities like running and swimming to help channel some of their hyperactivity. So, Cindy, does it surprise you that celebrities and people who've really accomplished a lot have been very open about the fact that they have ADHD or ADD?
I don't find it surprising at all. Our son has the diagnosis of ADHD, and I had to really educate myself about that disability, because truly it is a disability, and things that he does, the impulsivity and things that he will do are truly out of his control. And people that don't understand ADHD think that it's a behavioral problem. Now, there can be parental things that parents do to make the condition worse, but as a parent of a child with ADHD, you really do need to understand the disability so that you don't punish a child for things that they truly do not have control over. And it doesn't surprise me that people who are very successful have ADHD, because Joshua is very, very busy. And he's going to be high functioning, I believe, and when he's an adult, because he can go for 12 hours non-stop. Medication will help him stay on task. But he's a very high functioning individual, and I think he will continue that as an adult. And I think that's why so many people who are successful CFOs or CEOs and such have ADHD.
Two other celebrities, Emily, that came up were Karina Smirnoff, who's been on Dancing with the Stars, and Ty Pennington from Extreme Home Makeover. So, like you said, those are very notable, high-functioning people.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives them confidence to do whatever they want to do, their dreams or whatever, not have ADHD hold them back or anything like that. Seeing celebrities go through the same thing that they go through every day, or not, with their difficulties and stuff. So that will really help them know that they're not limited with what they have to do.
And Bryson, what do you think when I, mentioned some of those people? Were you familiar with that some of them had been open about their diagnosis?
I wasn't that familiar, just because I don't really follow that well, but it's not surprising to me. A lot of people do have this diagnosis, but there is help out there, and we see a lot of times with our clients that come in here when there is when they have the diagnosis of ADD or ADHD, that a lot of times they have short-term memory or processing speed weaknesses. So it literally just becomes exhausting for them to try and keep up with all of the information. So after you ask them to try and keep doing something that they literally can't, they're going to kind of tune you out. And that's a lot easier than having to go through that constant struggle every day. So that's why once we train those things like short-term memory and processing speed, that a lot of our clients can come off or reduce their medication. So it's not a diagnosis that you have to have forever. It can, there is help out there for it.
What you find with an ADHD child is if they are passionate about something, they're dead on focused, medicine or no medicine. And that's what happens is later in life, they find what they're passionate about. And so therefore, they're able to just achieve a tremendous amount because their focus is dead on that task. So even though it's a struggle when they're not interested in history in school, or when they're not interested in math in school, when they get older and find that passion, it's whether medicated or not, that's they're able to truly focus and drill into what they need to be successful in that area.
You mentioned the CEOs and CFOs. Sir Richard Branson, who has Virgin records and the airline and everything. He's been diagnosed and has talked about it. I mean, and look at all the wonderful things that he's achieved. So there's no limitation just because you have a diagnosis. So thank you, Bryson. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Emily. You're watching MommyTalkShow.com.